We have our team Turles fully assembled, so let's go ahead and check out all three of these new additions. We got Almond, Rasin, we got Daiz, Goku, and then we got Turles. So let me switch over here so that we can check out what they do, and then we'll jump in. I'm going to give you my early thoughts on their builds. Over the course of the video, I could change my mind, so use the timestamps in the video to jump around if you want, and wait until the end to see what I have to say, and then also check the pinned comment, because after the video, if I still have something to say, the only thing I can do is update the pinned comment. So check all those things. Starting with Almond Rasin. Int Almond Rasin, he is a defensive unit. He raises defense for 4 turns, causes supreme damage with a 70% chance to seal. Attack and defense plus 250, planetary destruction, allies, key plus 2, attack and defense plus 40%, plus an additional key plus 1, defense plus 30%, and chance to crit plus 15 for characters who also belong to space traveling warriors. For 1 turn from the character's entry, damage reduction 25%. In slot 1, guards all attacks, 20% damage reduction. Launches an additional super attack with 4 or more key spheres obtained. In slot 2 or 3, attack at plus 200%, launches an additional super attack, guards all attacks, and damage reduction 10% with 4 or more key spheres obtained. When attacking, attack plus 150. Whenever guard is activated, attack and defense plus 50% up to 200. When there is another planetary destruction category ally attacking in the same turn, damage reduction 20%. An additional damage reduction 20% when there's another space traveling warriors category ally attacking in the same turn. So this dude, with all conditions met, 20, 40, 60, 60% damage reduction with full guard, and then on turn 1, 85% damage reduction. After that first turn, hopefully you'll have launched a couple of supers, built up that defense, since it's a multiplicative defense buff. So you are looking pretty solid in the slot 1 position, and if you need to, you can bump him into slot 2 or 3 should the situation call for it. How do you build the character? Well, the same way you would build practically any slot 1 tank. You want to go full dodge and put the rest into additional. I don't think damage output matters too much for this character. What's more important is getting a bunch of defense boosts and having the ability to avoid stuns or seals, because if you were to get stunned or sealed, then you wouldn't be able to launch any super attacks to raise that defense. So I think going dodge first and foremost is the most important. So actually, let me show you my build right here. Can I do that on this screen? Yes, I can. That's my build. So obviously I am using premium equips, so you might not be able to pull off this same sort of build, but you get the premise. So I put a bunch of defense equips in there. I put 30 dodge, so he basically has a medium chance to dodge, and I think that should go over pretty well. Plus he is giving himself 15% crit, so if we're trying to get that extra damage, I suppose that will suffice. But that is how you build Almond Rasin. For now, let's switch over to Daiz Cacao. So let me pull up this. Actually, wait, we should read what the guy does first. Actually, I'll just leave this on screen. All right, so for this dude, he is the opposite. Instead of dodging and being in slot 1, or tanking and being in slot 1, he is an attack dog in slot 2 or 3. Raised attack for 4 turns, cause supreme damage with a 70% chance to stun. E plus 3 attack and defense plus 250, launches an additional super attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super. Changes STR key spheres to rainbow. For 1 turn from the character's entry, launches an additional super attack, chance to dodge plus 10%. Per space traveling warriors or terrifying conquerors, category ally attacking in the same turn, depending on whichever one has more. Defense plus 200%, chance to crit and dodge plus 10%, meaning this can go up to 600% defense and 30% dodge and crit. Isn't that crazy? It's not self-excluded, so it is including himself. 600% defense. What the hell? Slot 2 or 3, attack plus 200%, high chance to crit, high chance to dodge. So assuming these 2 conditions fully proc, that's an 80% chance to dodge and an 80% crit. On that first turn, 90% chance to dodge. When attacking, defense plus 200%. For every super attack performed, attack and defense plus 50% up to 200. When there's another space traveling warriors category ally attacking in the same turn, launches an additional super attack. All allies, key plus 2, attack and defense plus 30% for 2 turns. When there's another planetary destruction category ally attacking in the same turn. So he has the ability to launch a bunch of supers while boasting a very impressive critical hit ratio and a very impressive dodge. Basically, TLDR, you don't need either one because both are pretty much covered. So what do? You could go for full additional. I have decided to give him a base 20 dodge as a personal preference because y'all know I do like me some dodge. Giving that extra dodge after the first turn, well, let's just say on the first turn, with my 20 dodge, and he's got a 90% dodge, he has a collective 92% chance to dodge. He doesn't have guard, he doesn't have damage reduction. So you can never really have too much dodge. That is one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is because your passive abilities are so high, the hit potential is going to matter that much less. because he's got a collective 90% chance to dodge on the first turn, your 20 dodge in the hit potential only amounts to a 2% collective increase. You go from 90% to actually 92%, because that is how the calculations work. Your hit potential dodge only factors in should the passive dodge fail. After that first turn, you drop down to an 80% passive dodge, which means now your 20 is going to factor a little bit more, and instead of 80%, it actually becomes an 84%. So it does matter a little bit more on turn 2. So I just gave him 20 dodge, and then I put the rest into additional, so he's got a 42% chance for an additional, and I gave him a mixture of attack and defense buffs. I just gave him some extra defense equips, just because he is going to be getting a whopping 600% here. And, you know, I don't know, if he were to get hit, maybe that little extra cushioning could save his life. But it's all about additionals and dodge. Whatever combination works, this is how I've done it. Maybe you can do the same. Moving on to the last one. That is the physical Turles. So let's check out this one. Let's check out this bad boy. So space traveling warriors, pure Saiyans, key plus 3, 170%, extra key plus 1, stats plus 30 to planetary destruction, low class warrior. And then for the super attack, he is an attack stacker, greatly raise attack permanently, raises defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage, and recovers 6% health. With a comma. With comma, there's no comma, no perma. So since there's a comma here, there is a perma. Perma boost. Activates entrance animation when there's a Goku's family or pure Saiyans category enemy, or an enemy whose name includes Gohan Kid at the start of the character's attacking turn. Extreme class allies, key plus 3, attack and defense plus 18%. Basic effects, attack and defense plus 200%, damage reduction 20%. When HP is 50% or more, attack plus 100%, defense plus 150. Launches an additional super attack, launches additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack plus 150. Launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super. Launches an additional super attack when HP is 50% or less. Ugh. 1 turn only, attack plus 400%, defense plus 100%. It didn't dawn on me the second I read this, but this is basically the fruit of the tree of might effect. You chomp on it right away, and then boom, you get a massive explosion. This is on the first turn. So this is effectively going to be sort of like a preview for what your long-term stacking is going to bring for the character. For every super attack performed, key plus 3 up to 9, damage reduction plus 10% up to 30, defense plus 80% up to 240. After performing 6 attacks in battle, just regular attacks or supers, he gets the pseudo critical effect, the attack's effective against all types, launches an additional super attack. For 1 turn only, when there's an ally, space traveling warriors category ally attacking in the same turn, damage reduction 70% before attacking. So this guy kind of gets a little bit of everything. He has slot 1 functionality on the first turn with the 70% combined with the 20%. He has an actual 90% damage reduction on that first turn, which can be good for organizing your rotations and whatnot. But moving forward, he would not be a typical slot 1 character. He gives you that for the first turn. After that, he is better off as a slot 2 or a slot 3, because once he builds up his momentum fully, he would have a 50% damage reduction in the slot 2, and then after he launches a couple of supers, raising that defense and giving you some regen, he will be a much more efficient tank in that position. So the question is, how do you build this guy's hit potential? There are really 2 ways to think about this. You can embrace the damage output of it all and just go full force offense. And this is where I talk about ego versus instinct. Do you go full ego and forget the dodge? That's where I'm going to be starting for the sake of this video, because I have an overabundance of critical equips. I use these equips the least. So naturally, this stupid game gives me a billion of those equips. So I've got like actually 30 of each. So I can afford to replace it. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to remove all dodge to stress test how much damage he would take. So I have gone full critical, 60% crit, and then I put the rest into additional, so 22% chance for that. I gave him mostly attack equips, and I gave him a little bit of defense. I did this because he is an attack stacker with tremendous damage output potential. He's got a massive explosion on the first turn, and I just want to see what happens when we embrace pure offense. Obviously, without any defense, this can lead to issues. If you get stunned, if you get sealed, or if you are just having to put him in the slot 1 because nobody else is on the rotation that can handle it, he might get obliterated. In which case, maximum dodge, I would say, is probably the better build, because at the end of the day, you only have 50% damage reduction, and that plus your defense boosting, it may not cut it on certain events. So it depends on the events that you're going to be running. I would say at that point, go for maximum dodge, and then go critical. Honestly, you don't need additional. You've got plenty of additional. You've got your primary super. You've got 1 additional potential right there. You've got another additional potential right there. So that's 3 supers. Then you get another one here. That's 4 supers. So I think your combo game is pretty good. So I would say you can either go full crit and additional, just embrace pure offense, or go maximum dodge and then put the rest into critical. Remember, dodge only counts for 1. So if I were to get 30 dodge, that gives me a 30% chance to dodge. Whereas if I put a 30 critical, that's actually a 60% chance for a critical. So those are my 2 different builds for the character, either full ego, full instinct. Over the course of the video, I might focus a little more on the one or the other, but in general, I would say probably the dodge is the better build. Yes, we have spent 10 minutes talking about all this, because now we're gonna go ahead and jump in and we're gonna do some events, starting with, I was actually about to do Divine Wrath Mortal Will, and then I realized we're not fighting a Goku there, so or a Pure Saiyan. So let's go ahead and do 11th Anniversary Special Battle Part 1, Stage 2 against the Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We're just gonna jump straight into the fire. We are running a full 200% team. The unfortunate reality is these 2 characters do not get the full effect of this Metal Cooler's leader skill, while the Turles does. So what we're doing is we're just gonna focus on pure Turles. Everybody here is a Turles gang except for the Cooler. Cooler provides some extra support. And we're gonna have Almond Rasin as the first rotation, and then the other one, I don't know, we'll kind of figure it out, because Turles and Turles, they don't exactly link up, so we'll see. And I'm also adding the support memory to sort of help simulate the 220% effect. Let's do this. So here we go. Yikes. Hold on, let's fix this. Well, I mean, that sort of works. Team Turles with physical Turles. All right, let's check out this intro.
So Earth would be the planet that could bear the fruit of the tree. Such strength. Is that brat a Saiyan? He is a real one.
There it is. There's the line.
He is a real one.
Oh, Chris Patton, voice of Iki Minami. Love that voice. All right, so on this first turn, we got 90% damage reduction. We don't have any dodge to ruin this, I don't think. Yeah, pretty sure we don't. By the way, is it Destroyer of the Universe? We have basically double Big Bad Boss. Destroyer of the Universe gives us 25% attack. Big Bad Boss gives us 25% attack. What else gives us crazy stuff? Saiyan Warrior Race gives us 10%. I mean, we're just firing on all cylinders here. Oh, we don't have that one. Everything else. But still, like, look at our numbers. Look at this. That is looking pretty cool. So if this guy in the slot 1, we're gonna hopefully launch a bunch of supers, a bunch of crits. And yeah, unfortunately, I got a Ben's Tech Turles because this is the one problem. They don't synergize. We might die in the slot 2, but I don't care, because we're stress testing, right? We're trying to do some damage here. We're doing a nuclear field test. So let's do this. We got the 2 banner units together on the next rotation. They should actually synergize pretty well. Can you yes! And no dodge to ruin this. See, this is exactly why I went full ego. 90% damage reduction. We're taking 106,000 damage against this guy. That is pretty dang good. Was that 74 million attack stat? 13 million damage, no crit. Are you kidding me? 79.7 million attack stat on the second super. 50 million damage on a crit. Third attack is a 3.6 million slap. Fourth attack, 85 million attack stat. Holy crap. Dude, what? 14.8. Are you, dude, we failed so many critical checks. See, now that bothers me. I went full ego for this, and that's how I'm rewarded. Are you kidding me? This guy is 44.5 million attack stat. I did adjust his build a little bit. He was 20 additional, 10 dodge. I've now flipped it. He's got 16 additional and 20 dodge. Oh, wow. He does 29 million damage on a crit. I think he's doing a little bit better with both of the Turleses supporting everybody. Because don't forget, Ki +3, attack and defense plus 18% from physical Turles, and then a bunch more stats from tech Turles. Oh, that was nice. 63 million damage on a crit from tech Turles.
He is a real one.
I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the damage output. I mean, this dude's got like over 1 billion health. So, you know, there is that to consider. But the fact that we did that much with those Turleses, I think that's pretty impressive. So in terms of synergy, look at all this. Loyalty is not a link you're going to be typically getting. But that, that gives us 5% more damage reduction. So on this first turn, this dude's got 90% damage reduction and guard. you are going to survive most events with that sort of coverage. So this is actually a pretty good setup with these two. I'm going to bench the Turles for this. So we got this dude. We have to have him pick up 4 key spheres, remember? He's got to pick up 4 key spheres to get the combo. And in the slot 2, he would need that for the guard. So let's do that. Let's pick up these. Does Ricardo Diaz require more key spheres? Dude, what the heck? Look at his defense. That's almost 1 million defense. Oh my God. He doesn't have to pick up any orbs, but we are getting extra stats for multiple turns. Key +2, attack and defense +30% for 2 turns. And then Turles has max key in the slot 3. So this also shores up his key issues early. So he's going to have 24 key. He gets to do this for every super attack with 24 key. He gets more key. Oh my God. I love this team. I love it. I love it. Our health, by the way, is over 800,000. All right, so we're tanking this one. 90% damage reduction and guard. Yeah, tickle damage. When was the last time I busted out that terminology? Tickle damage. 19.7 million attack stat. We're not going to do much here. That's okay. 8 million damage, no crit. Okay. We get the additional. Again, 19.7 million attack stat. He's not raising his attack at all. 8 million damage, no crit. I don't care about it. Okay. Cool. And now Ricardo Diaz. Ew, 9 million attack stat? Hey, what the heck? 8 million damage with a crit. 15.3 million attack stat on the second. Okay. All right. That's looking better. 13 million damage on a crit. 21.4 million attack stat on the third super. 18.2 million damage on a crit. 28 million attack stat. Okay. All right. I stand corrected. 4 out of 4 on supers. 24 million damage on a crit. 5 out of 5 on supers. 34.8 million attack stat. 30 million damage on a crit. And oh yeah, 90% chance to dodge. Okay. 93 million attack stat for Turles on the first turn. Oh my God. 60 million on a crit. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Dude, what is this team? This is insane. This is insane. All right. So now this is probably going to result in a big giant failure, but that's okay because the main thing was just test stuff out. This guy has, how many supers has he launched? He's launched 3 supers. So he's fully built up his passive. 240% defense, 30% damage reduction. So he's got 50% damage reduction. We're gonna die if I put him in the slot 1, but then again, everyone is gonna die here. This is where dodge would be nice for this particular setup. Also, we do need to see how much damage. Oh man, you know what? I should have probably used. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do here. Since we've now demonstrated the tankiness of these characters, I'm gonna go ahead and just use the Whis. So we're basically gonna give him his same damage reduction again. So he's gonna have 90% damage reduction because I'd rather not lose the momentum here. So let's just do this. Okay. Oh yeah, his active skill. God, what does that do? Oh, greatly raised stat. You know what? I'm gonna save that one. Let's continue to stack a little bit more. So let's do this, and then we'll do this, and then we got Cooler giving everybody extra stats. He's giving us 40% stats, and then also an additional 10% in slot 3 as movie boss. All right, so here we go. Knowing him, he's probably gonna super red. Yeah. So right there, that is exactly why I used. That is exactly why I used that Whis. 90% damage reduction. We're taking double digits. And now our stats drop a little bit. 42.8 million attack stat. We lost the 400% boost. That's okay. 27 million damage on the crit. 45 million attack stat on the second super. $8 million damage, no crit. 47.8 million attack stat on the third super. 31 million damage on a crit. 50 million attack stat on the, is it fourth super? Are we 4 out of 4? 32.4 million damage. Oh my God, it just doesn't stop. 52.8 million attack stat on the next super. Pretty sure we're 5 out of 5. 27 million. Dude, the stacking is crazy. Man, what the heck? The fact that we took double digits versus 100,000 like on the first turn goes to show just how effective the defense boosting was from those supers that we launched. On that first turn, yeah, we were roided out of our minds, but we also built up our defense 240% extra, overcompensating for the loss of the 100% that we got on that first turn from the steroids, right? So Turles definitely can work in the slot 1 in conjunction with an item post turn 1. You just got to be careful. If the unit can seal you, if the enemy can seal you, then maybe you should, you know, go for more dodge. I still think ultimately, I think the best build is going to be max dodge and then the rest crit. Because even at, like, let's just say the rotation was Almond, Rasin, and then physical Turles, right? Even with the extra critical that you're getting, all the damage is nice, but the stacking is going to take some time, and there are going to be certain events where you're just going to get obliterated, even with 50% damage reduction slot 2 post super. We are looking good. All right, we're definitely not going to kill here. So after this, we will see what happens when there's no item to protect us. By then, we'll have Turles covering us in the slot 1, and we're going to use the Fruit of the Loom. All right, so let's do that. We got a bunch of orbs. So let's do this. Oh, maybe I should do it now. Yeah, let's do it now. Why not? All right, so let's do this. And then we'll do this. Domain. Yok Tenkai. What are those extra lines sticking out of the sky? What's that from? Are those like branches from the tree? All right, so everybody's boosted. Is that 10 million? Bro, what the? That's 10 million, dude. What? What? Okay. This guy, oh yeah, he gets damage reduction before receiving it. It doesn't matter. All right, we win. I mean, we don't win here, but next turn we win. Yeah, we're not taking any damage here. Dodge, please. No? Great. We lose the 25% damage reduction here, so it would have been 60% damage reduction. That would have hurt, actually. 60% damage reduction with guard is cool, but this boosted Daima Super Saiyan 4, that would have hurt. So again, damage taken this turn doesn't really count because we're using a Whis. Next turn, we'll see. 45.3 million attack stat. Now that these boys have fully built up, they can start off with that crazy number. 44 million damage on a crit. 15 on a slap. 15 on a critical slap. 47 million attack stat. This is 2 supers out of 3 attacks. 44.4 million damage on that crit. 3 out of 4. 48.7 million attack stat. Third super. 45.8 million damage on that crit. And now we just go ahead and dodge everything. We have 84% chance to dodge. 80% crit. 165 million attack set for our Tech Turles. You know, I'm a little afraid if I put this guy in slot 1 next turn, we might kill before physical Turles even gets to go. All right, you know what? I'm gonna put physical Turles in the slot 1 next turn because yeah, we might. Because like we know we're gonna win, right? It's already very obvious we're gonna win. So instead of putting Tech Turles slot 1, which we should, let's go ahead and stress test in some of the most extreme conditions this boy in slot 2. All right, so let's go ahead and activate this as well. This is going to, what are we gonna get from this? Greatly raise attack temporarily, cause ultimate damage. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. In the slot. You
know what this is? A moon. Burst open and mix! Now, let me see your true form.
Whoa! Wow, really? Dude, if that was a crit, oh my god. Okay. All right. Well, damn. All right, so on this turn, dude, look at this. 18 million attack, pre-attack phase, 36 million. What the heck? All right. I gotta see. Please super me slot 1. I want to see how much damage we take. I am genuinely curious. How much damage could we possibly take here? Show me. Show me. Attaboy. We got 60% damage reduction, a bunch of stats. Okay, you can kill me still? All right, got it. That's fair. All right, so we're gonna try this again with Almond Rasin in the slot 1, and then we're gonna have Physical Turles use his active in the slot 2, and then we'll see how much damage he actually can pull off, and then what his attack stat will be. I'll tell you this is my following run. I did not have to reset multiple times. The amount of ease that this team just handles Daima Goku is crazy. And I gotta say, I really like Turles with his full crit build. I know that's very antithetical to my dodge beliefs, but since he's not meant to be a slot 1, I mean, I don't know. Actually, we might kill here. Uh-oh. All right, do me a favor. Don't crit this time so I can actually see how much damage we... Oh, okay, well. All right, that's actually a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot, but considering he's got like 1 billion health, that actually matters. Okay, so we're gonna put this dude in the slot 1, and we got the Tree of Might domain active, so he's fine. So we're gonna do that. And then Physical Turles, I mean, you're dead. Like Daima Goku, you're just gone. So goodbye. Don't dodge this. I want to see how much damage you actually take. Cool. Okay, not one person has dodged this whole video. Just FYI. Like in the slot. Okay. Wow. All right. 650,000 damage right there. Ouchie. He's not going to kill. That's okay. Oh, this turn we have 15% more crit chance. So it's actually passive 15 and then backup 60. So that ends up being like a 50% chance overall. Let's see. What's our attack stat? 55 million attack stat. Okay. $40 million damage. Yeah, we have a 65% critical chance this turn, by the way. 15% crit on the passive and then 60 backup. That's what that is. 60 million attack stat. Oh, come on. Take him out. Take him out. Don't have Cooler do it. Come on. There we go. 63 million attack stat. I will say his damage output compared to the LR Tech Turles, not as impressive over the first couple of turns post 400 boost. But with how much this team does for one another, I don't think it ultimately matters. If it's a long-term fight, a battle of attrition, then this Turles will shine even brighter. But that was a really good first start. Let's do something else. All right, so now we're going to take on the Gohan Blue Zone re-DLC, the new Tree of Might edition. Right, we're going to do the 6 Terrifying Conquerors mission. On this particular team with the 250-220% lead metal cooler, the Turles is going to do better, but the banner units are going to do a little bit worse because they only fit the 170%. So let's see what happens. I didn't know this when I first did this fight, but Gohan does not super. He is just slapping with a bunch of criticals. And then there's that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We've already seen what a 90% damage reduction Turles can give us in terms of tanking. What I'm more curious to see is actually what this guy is going to do in the slot 1. So let's do that. At 170%, he's likely to still take some damage. He's got 85% damage reduction with guard, though, and we are going to be getting an extra stat buff courtesy of the Meta Cooler. So I don't know. We'll see. 18,000 damage. Okay. The 12.6 million attack stat on this first super. Remember, Gohan has a critical, guaranteed crit, so that's going to bypass most of the stat changes. So we should be taking around the same. 12,000 or whatever we took, 18,000. We have 85% damage reduction. Yeah, 18,000. 85% damage reduction on this turn. The following turn, when we come back, we're going to be taking a heck of a lot more. A heck of a lot more. So we got 79 million attacks in on the first turn here. No critical, thank you. Are you serious? Back-to-back fails? 82.4 million attacks that. So this is where I like the critical, because on that first turn, you really want to make it count. Wow, dude. I failed on all my crits. Wait a minute, did I just take 200,000 damage? Is it 200,000 or 20,000? That was 200,000 damage. %90 damage reduction? And what the heck, dude? Well, we got the domain. Let's speed this up, shall we? Let's do this. All right. And then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. Okay. Now we got U slot 1. We got U slot 2. I want to once again give the STR orbs to the metal cooler, so that metal cooler gives everybody extra stats. 22,000 damage for that dude. 200 million attack stat. I do plan to go back in and attempt these events now with no new units, because I think it's going to be a lot more achievable thanks to these extra Turles characters. But man, I'm digging this team. I'm digging this team, dude. I love what I'm seeing. 65 million attack stat for STR Team Turles. Look at that. Hi, boy. We actually might die here, though, because this guy only has 50% damage reduction. We could die. Ugh! We're going to get a bunch of extra defense next turn. Not a bunch, but like a little bit, which will definitely help Almond Rasin. We also got Cacao Diaz. I want to have them together. I think I'm going to put Physical Turles in the slot 3. Because at this point, I don't think it really matters. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and use that. All right, so let's use this. Did you actually land a crit, dummy? Thank you. 41 million on the crit. So let's do this. We're going to pick up 4 key spheres. So Daiz. And then we're going to do this. Oh my. All right, let's do this actually. He's got 90% dodge, 80% crit, and then we'll do this. All right. Let's see how this rotation goes. Nice, full heal. Okay, that's very good. 42,000 damage now instead of 18,000. So because we lost the 25% damage reduction, that matters. But still, at 170%, we are getting the job done with this boy. That's good. Literally, will you ever dodge, though? I gave you 30 dodge. You have not dodged once. You want to do it now? No? How about now? Thanks, moron. This guy needs a turn. This first turn, his stats are very low. But then when he comes back, he's averaging 40+ million. He's also at the 170% level. Okay. Okay. 90%. Thank you. And then there's Turles. I think this is ultimately going to be a more appropriate way to use him. After his first turn, you float him. He doesn't need to be a focal point of your offense if you've got the Tech Turles, Metal Cooler, and other Terrifying Conqueror, Space Traveling Warriors, movie boss type characters. If this guy is one of the more fundamental pieces on your rotations in terms of doing damage, then you have to keep him around. But since we have the luxury of floating him off, I think this is a more appropriate way to send him off. We also healed our way back to full health, which is great. Good extra damage. Very good extra damage. Cool. 190,000 damage. This is against Gohan. Gohan's a bit of an extreme case. Not too many fights have insane attack stats and guaranteed crit on every attack. So I wouldn't judge Turles too harshly on this particular instance, but yeah, that is still very troublesome to see. All right, I don't want to see this. I'm not gonna lie. Do you? I don't. Bro, we're on our third turn. We actually might kill. I gotta keep this in the video. No, I learned something. All right, I don't want to say learned something, but I got a tinfoil hat theory. Since Dokkan is played on mobile devices, there's a microphone. The microphone is active when you're actually playing the game. So when you say things, since this game is connected to a server, it will connect to the server. They'll hear what you have to say, and then somebody behind the controls will manipulate everything to do the exact opposite of what you want. I said transform twice. What did these little do? They transformed 3 times. This is turn 3. You gonna do it a 4th time, morons? Thank you. You got spooked because I called you out, huh? Oh, are we gonna lose? Oh, dang, we might lose. Hold up. We heal a little bit from that, and then we get this. Doesn't this guy give us some heals? Int orbs give us, where's int? 10% at the end of the turn. Uh-oh. Yeah, we actually might lose here. Uh-oh. 20 dodge, maybe? Oh, okay. Dude, this team. Oh, I love Turles' gang, man. Oh, yeah. Well, that was easy. So even at 170%, the banner units definitely do their job. And it's 100% because of the fact that they're surrounded by the other Turles characters. Because this guy gets his 90% dodge. This guy gets his, well, whatever. I forgot. But he's a slot one. It's mainly this guy. But like, it actually works. It doesn't feel like you're missing a step at the 170% level. So this team works. To be honest, I stand with all my builds. I think all my builds work, especially the Almond Rasin and the Daiz Cacao. Maximum dodge for this guy, 100% is the best way to do it. In terms of additionals, you're going to be getting that by picking up 4 key spheres. We have orb changing on the team that facilitates the ability to do that a little more consistently. Even if you don't, though, you have 85% guard or 85% damage reduction and guaranteed guard in slot 1. And then after the first turn, you'll be building up stats anyway, so it should be fine. I like how Almond Rasin works in conjunction with these units. Daiz Cacao, these guys are a good slot too. You can go even more additional if you want. I find the need for dodge is not nearly as much as you may think, but some people would argue since he is an all-out dodge or die character, you just want to lean into that dodge as much as you can. So it's just a personal preference thing. I just went 20 because that's just my style. I like having 20 dodge on characters. So 20 gives him a 92% chance to dodge on turn 1 and an 84% chance to dodge afterwards. And he does the rest. I mean, he does insane damage, so he's fine. Turles, that is the one question. And I do think at the center of both of my builds, be it the instinct or ego build, I think critical is fundamental because his damage contribution on turn 1 is mainly what you judge the character's value on in terms of offense. After that, it's going to take a while for his damage output to increase. So in order to make that turn 1 more effective, giving some crit, I think, is a good idea. After he launches 6 attacks, he will eventually have pseudo critical. So even if the critical fails, you'll still have the backup, extra damage, which is fine. But I think dodge is important for this character. As you saw on some of the newer fights, he is still prone to take significant damage, even with 50% damage reduction and some defense built up. Certain characters will bypass the stat changes because of crit. Certain characters will just be hitting that much harder because that's where we are in this game. So it's just a matter of personal preference. Again, this team has what it takes to be a top tier team. If not already, this actually might be a top tier team. Like, I'm not even joking. This might be top 5. But the thing is, how are you going to handle defense? This guy needs some dodge. So I think either going max dodge, the rest critical, or going max critical, the rest dodge. I think either one of those works. But I do think you want to put some dodge in there. I don't need additional. I really don't. He's got enough. On each turn, like if you're trying to get this part of the passive, it's going to take you 2 turns anyway, regardless. Because you've already got, first of all, a base 5 hit potential since he's physical. But you have a primary super, you've got a secondary super, you've got a third super, potentially a 4th if your health drops. But no matter what, you're still going to need a second turn to reach 6. So this hit potential, adding more additionals in there isn't going to make a difference. And then once you get this, you really don't need it. So I think additional is an easy skip. Just focus on critical and dodge. However much you want to go into one or the other depends on your personal playstyle. Because I'm a whale and because my team can handle it, I think I'm going to keep him as is. But make no mistake, I've got dodge and spirit because that's just who I am. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on the new Team Turles setup. The Almond Rasin, the Cacao Diaz, I keep saying Diaz. I can't help it. Their names are dumb, so nobody cares. And Turles, how would you build them? How do you like these characters? Would you prefer to run a 200% Tech Turles built team, or would you rather put these characters on a Meta Cooler team? And with these characters now, do you think that Terrifying Conquerors is top tier? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. By the way, I also want to say before we wrap this up, just because this team is good doesn't mean you must have this team. It does not mean you should go back and summon on this banner and summon on, oh, Metal Cooler's gone. Doesn't mean you should go back and summon on this banner at all, because listen, they've done a good job at making this team top tier, but that's just how Dokkan rolls. It doesn't mean you have to have every single team all the time when they first drop. They will come back, they will iterate, they will get better. You don't have to go back. I still don't think you should go back and summon just for all this. Oh, and a quick reminder, you should be having 17, you should be having 19 total tickets because the new mission is now out. So yeah, you should have 19 total tickets obtained or used on the Turles free summons. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly. I forgot the rest of the outro. Love you. Bye.